Harihi Om. Sham no mitrasyam varunaha. Sham no bhavatvariyama. Sham no indro bruhaspatihi. Sham no vishnurukramaha. Namo brahmane. Namaste vayo. Tvameva prachaksham brahmasi. Tvameva prachaksham brahma vadishyami. Vratam vadishyami. Satyam vadishyami. Tanmam avatu. Tadvaktaram avatu. Avatu mam. Avatu vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now we are going into the evolutionary part of astrology. And Master started with the fixed signs. Before he explains thoroughly about the fixed signs, he explained a lot of things here. Let us try to understand slowly. So, the stable or fixed signs indicates the establishment of the consciousness. This statement. The purpose of the fixed signs, it is the stability and the establishment of the consciousness. This is the purpose of the fixed signs. There is a lot of signs in the esoteric astrology or in the spiritual astrology. Master DK and Masika explained a lot of things about the fixed signs, and at the right time we will try to understand about the fixed signs. Now, let us follow the syllabus what Master has given. There are three aspects to our consciousness called dynamism, inertia and poise. In the consciousness there are three aspects. One is the dynamism and inertia and the poise. You find a lecture of Master E.K. especially on this subject. You will find this lecture, inertia, poise and dynamism, in one of his overseas messages lectures. If you are interested to understand about this particular inertia, poise and dynamism, you please go through that that lesson. Actually, we presented this lesson in our wisdom group also long back. So if you are interested to understand more, you please go through that lesson. Okay. There are three aspects to our consciousness called dynamism, inertia and poise. We have three modes for the expression of our consciousness. These are the three modes, dynamism, inertia and poise. And symbolically we call them Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara in the Indian scriptures. Brahma is the dynamism and poise is the Vishnu and inertia is the Lord Shiva. And they are the three principles symbolically explained. And we are going to release a book in 2023 Guru Pujas in Visakhapatnam. A book called Symbolism. Symbolism in the Scriptures. The name of the book is Symbolism in the Scriptures. It is almost 300 plus pages of book. In that book, we presented all the lectures given by the Master on symbolism, not only on the Indian Scriptures, but also from the Old Testament and from Greek mythology and Egyptian mythology. And lot of things Master explained about the symbolism. It is a separate science, very important science and a very useful science. If you are interested to know about the symbolism, you please go through that book. The name of the book is The Symbolism in the Scriptures. Okay. So, we have three modes for the expression for consciousness. Aries includes dynamism. The first sign in the zodiac, Aries, includes dynamism. Taurus includes inertia. And Gemini indicates poise. Again, the next one, Cancer indicates dynamism, Leo indicates inertia, and Virgo indicates poise. In Sanskrit, Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva. These are the three Sanskrit words. Rajas is the dynamism, Sattva is the poise, and Tamas is the inertia. He divided the three signs starting from Aries dynamism, Taurus inertia and Gemini poise. Again, next one, Cancer indicates dynamism, Leo indicates inertia, and Virgo indicates poise. Again, Libra indicates dynamism, Scorpio indicates inertia, and Sagittarius indicates poise. Capricorn indicates dynamism, Aquarius indicates inertia, and Pisces indicates poise. So we have the four modes of consciousness, and are expressed in three modalities. Now we have to understand each of these. The first one causes change. So dynamism causes change. The second one causes stability. Inertia causes stability. The third one causes adjustment. The poise causes adjustment. In Sanskrit it is called Chara, Sthira and Dvasvabhava, or Rajas, Tamas and Sattva. Here dynamism, inertia and poise. These things are explained in our first level. I explained about the cardinal signs and fixed signs and the mutable signs. So Master is comparing between the three qualities in the three different planes. So a lot of explanation was given in our first level. In my book also I have given book what I have sent to you, the PDF of my book, the Astrology, the Divine Science. And I explained also very clearly about these three groups. You can go through that. And next, our consciousness travels in all these three sections. The consciousness travels through all these three. We cannot avoid any one of this. Even when we are born, in this birth, we are born with the combination of these three qualities. The ratio will be changed. So some people, they are born with more poise and less inertia and less dynamism. Some people, they are born with more percentage of dynamism and other thing and inertia and the poise. Some people, they are born with more percentage of inertia and less dynamism, and these are the permutations and combinations what we call. Based on that, our attitudes, our mental traits, mental qualities, our behavior, all these things depend upon the ratio of this inertia, poise and dynamism. The three are the basic things, right? These three are the basic things, but the ratio will be changing from person to person. Depending on that, we behave, we speak, we act. So that is in the basic astrology, these are the first things we are expected to learn to know about ourselves and know about others also. If you want to know about others, how they behave, how they speak, how they act, the way they take their decisions, whether they are very practical or very emotional or very spiritual or very yogic, are very balanced. If you want to know about ourselves and about others, we have to understand from this background. What is the background? Inertia, poise and dynamism. So our consciousness also travels through these three stages. That is what Master is explaining here. Again, a second time it travels, once travels, and again second time travels, and then again the third time it travels, and again a fourth time it travels. How? Aries, Taurus and Gemini over. Again starts with Cancer and ends with Cancer and Leo and Virgo. Again starts with Libra. Again starts with Capricorn. These are the four cardinals. So these are the four cardinal points. Every cardinal point it changes. That's why Master Jwalkul or Master Ika, whoever it may be, they give a lot of importance to the four cardinal points in March 21st and June 21st and September 21st or 22nd, whatever it may be, and December 22nd. These are the four cardinal points where we can take new decisions and make a new beginning. or some change. If you want to change something, those are the four, the beautiful cardinal points, where we can make some changes either inside of the consciousness or outside in the objective world. So like that we have to plan the four cardinal points in the year. Then we can imitate this formula, and we can also plan the same formula in our life also. If we divide into the four and then one stage and one stage and one stage, Master Jwalkul explains it in a very beautiful way. He divides into 7, for example. It is a different calculation. 7, 14, 21st, 28, 35, 42, like that. 49. Like that he divides. Every 7 years it changes. It is another calculation. We can imitate the formula of the planets or the seasons or the cardinal points. We can make the 2 halves, 4 quarters. Like that we can also plan our life also with this background. And then Master is telling, it changes, again take a second change, the third change, and a fourth change. It goes on establishing itself into triangles arranged in 4-sided figures. It goes on establishing itself into triangles. Triangle means Aries, Taurus, Gemini. Again Cancer, Leo and Virgo. It is triangle. Like that you find 4 triangles. His Master is explaining very beautifully. It goes on establishing itself into triangles arranged in 4-sided figures until all the 4 triangles are adjusted into the one square. Like this, we have the first stage in our evolution, the lowest stage, the second stage, the third stage, and the fourth stage, as the 4 stages of our evolution and the establishment in 4 layers of our consciousness. 4 triangles finally forms into a square. This is what we call the unfoldment. So Master explaining here, in the evolution we start from lowest stage and we come to the second stage and to the third stage and to the fourth stage, or the 4 stages of our evolution, and the establishment in 4 layers of consciousness. In the 4 triangles and becomes a square, it is called the establishment of in 4 layers of consciousness. It is evolution. Master explained here in the background of the spiritual astrology. The first layer of consciousness, what we know as our consciousness, is that which is working now. The first layer of consciousness, what we know as our consciousness, is that which is working now. It is called the waking state. They must explain in the next lesson, so I need not explain it here. The first layer of consciousness is what we are living now, in a waking state, in the objective world. This is what Master says all the time. The conscious also, the subconscious and supraconscious and conscious. We conscious means here conscious with our mind. That we have to understand here. Supraconscious means it is beyond our mind. It is beyond our waking mind. The example is, when you are sleeping, our mind also sleeps, but the respiration will be going on, the heartbeat will be going on, the digestive system works on its own, the blood circulation is going on, nothing will be stopped, but our conscious mind sleeps. Then the supraconscious mind works from inside, and it is responsible for all the heartbeat and the respiration, all the activities of the body inside. So exactly what you understand here, Master, we are living in this consciousness means in a waking state with a conscious mind. That is exactly what he means. Okay. It is what we call objectivity. The second stage is called sleep. The first stage in the consciousness is the objectivity. The second stage is called sleep. In Sanskrit, the beautiful words are there. I don't want to confuse you with the Sanskrit words. So, it is called objectivity, and the second stage is called sleep. The third stage is called a dream. The fourth stage is called the yogic stage. That is, we call the samadhi stage. So, waking state, objectivity, and the sleeping state, and the dream state, and the samadhi, we call it a shushupti in the Sanskrit. Okay, so let us go in a very simple way We should not confuse with all the technical terms. And Master explains very beautifully, and I am following his order. In the evolution makes us travel through these 4 stages until we establish ourselves in the 4th stage. The purpose of the evolution is it makes us travel through these 4 stages until we establish ourselves in the 4th stage. The goal is we have to establish ourselves in the 4th stage. It is like a deep sleep without dreams. So here I would like to tell you one important thing. A real deep sleep is without dreams. So generally we wake up in the morning, we used to say, I have seen some beautiful mountains and some beautiful gardens and some beautiful people in the dream. Or sometimes many people say they saw the angels and the masters, whatever it may be. It is good to see a beautiful scenery with the beautiful colors, or an ocean and traveling in the ocean, or traveling in the space, and seeing the beautiful flowers in the garden, or some forms of angels, whatever it may be. We feel good about it. But if the deep sleep means, if you go to sleep by 9 o'clock in the night, that is the best time to sleep, and get up by 4 o'clock in the early morning, that is the best time to get up in the early morning. Of course, it depends. I am not speaking about the Western world, because your sunrise is different, your sunset is different, and they actually, it depends upon the geographical conditions of our nation, where we live. So, but I am speaking about India, for example. Somebody is going to sleep by 9 o'clock and get up by 4 o'clock. This is the best time for sleeping and get up. 4 o'clock since from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock is the best time for any practice, whether doing pranayama or meditation and chanting mantra, or for any spiritual purpose. That is the best time in our life. We should make use of it. It is called Brahmi Muhurta. Okay, so coming to this, the 4 stages, when we are speaking about the sleep, the best sleep means from 9 to 4, how many hours? 9 to 12, 3, and 9 to 12, 3, and 12 to 4, 7 hours sleep. Okay. And that's more than enough. 7 hours sleep is more than enough. So, if we go to bed by 9 o'clock and get up by 4 o'clock, once you get up from the bed, we should feel like the sleep is for few minutes. That's the real sleep. Because you slept for 7 hours, we can't believe that, because we will have a feeling, if we are in a deep sleep, we feel like we slept for just few minutes, not even few hours. That is the real sleep. To get this type of sleep, we have to train ourselves in many ways. It is very, very difficult. It is very difficult to get this experience of sleeping a few minutes, even though we sleep for 7 hours or 8 hours or 6 hours. After getting from the bed, if you feel I slept for few minutes, that is the real sleep. In that state, you will not get any dreams. It just passes like few minutes. That is the real sleep. We have to try for that. I have seen in my life about the Master E.K. when we were traveling in the train, by 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, whatever it may be, and we were discussing something, and Master says, I wanted to sleep. And he goes to his berth, sleep. He says, I wanted to sleep. In the next minute, if you look at him, he will be in a deep sleep. Just in a minute. It is impossible. Unless our mind is free from the thoughts, unless we develop a state of not carrying all the things in the daytime into the sleep, all the time thinking and worrying and discussing all, we entertain all these things, we cannot sleep properly. We cannot go into the deep sleep. Mind should be in a neutral state. It's free from all the states. Unless the mind is free from all the states, we cannot get this type of sleep. I have seen in my life, in the Master's case, when he says, I want to sleep, the next minute he goes to the deep sleep. That is the yogic state of sleeping. Okay. So he is telling here what we are undergoing the evolution of the mineral kingdom. We experience the sleep-like stage of our consciousness. When the evolution is in the mineral stage, it is a sleep-like stage of consciousness. Then after we enter into the plant kingdom, we live in the consciousness of a dream-like state. In the plant kingdom, the evolution is in the consciousness is in the dream-like stage. When we enter into the animal kingdom, we get into the awakened stage that we awaken into mind and senses. First time when we enter into the animal kingdom, it is the awakened stage, that is the awakening of the mind and the senses. Previously, there was no mind and senses, though there was consciousness. This is the beauty of the explanation. The consciousness is there in the plant kingdom also, but there is no mind and the senses. The consciousness is there all the time. In the mineral kingdom, the consciousness is there. It is in the sleeping state. Right? In the plant kingdom, the consciousness is there. It is like in the dream state. In the animal kingdom also, the consciousness is there. It is awakened state. Then the first time mind and senses, they come into the picture. There has to be a separation of brain cells if the mind wants to get separated and operate. It is a science. What is the science here? There has to be a separation of the brain cells if the mind wants to get separated and operate. Minds wanted to separated means there should be a separation in the brain cells. That is what Master is explaining here. A difference between the animal kingdom and the plant kingdom. In the plant kingdom, there are no separation brain cells. So the mind is not separated from existence. There will be only sensation and feelings and no sense organs and senses and thought. Though sensations are there in the plant, that is what Chandra Bose in India, Jagdish Chandra Bose, he proved. What he proved, the feelings, the sensations in the plant is there. If you pick a flower or if you cut the tree, it also feels, the entire tree feels the pain. But there are no apparatus to express the pain. If it is a pain to the dog or a cat or any animal, it cries, it weeps, it shouts with the pain. Because senses in the brain cells and the separation of the mind, there is an apparatus to cry. The mouth is there, eyes are there, the feeling is there. They can express their pain outside, but plant also feels the pain, but it cannot express. This is what Jagdish Chandra Bose, a scientist in India, he proved with the instruments. Even when you cut a tree or do something to the tree, the entire tree also feels like the human, but they cannot express. This is what Master is explaining here, very systematically. There will be only sensations and feelings and no sense organs or senses and thought. Thereafter, we enter into the animal kingdom. We are awakened from the dream stage. This is what Master explained. I will explain further in our next lesson. Loka samasta sukino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.